It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints, and it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years. And right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Right to the air is Carr. And right away, he lost the football. And one of the linebackers has got it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
Now here are the Seahawks in great shape to start their first drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there.
On the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players and one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Eluding the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Geno Smith, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. In motion left goes a tight end. Now a play fake. Carr. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu got the sack there. Well, certainly not an ideal first quarter for him. Remember, he lost the fumble earlier, and here he ends up on the ground with a sack.
And sometimes what happens when you make a mistake early, you get too cautious going forward. Just cover up the football and take care of it and be able to cut it loose. Otherwise, your offense is going to stall.
So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. Back deep is Jalen Darden. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
First carry here for Ken Walker. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the 1st down.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And going right back to Walker. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So the penalty declined, and they will keep the yardage on the completion.
And you could almost see him compartmentalize there throughout the route. Fought hard at the line of scrimmage, a lot of hand checking throughout the route. Great job staying focused on the football and pulling it in through the contact.
Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The New Orleans offense set to take over. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing now is Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
To the 43, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 6. To throw his Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Carr. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Matthew Hayball now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Here's Smith. Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Gets past one man. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. There's Chris Olave. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Carr going to throw. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Gets this complete to Shaheed. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Trying the left side with Walker. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Here's Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Now Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now a 2nd and 2. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
At their own 26. Throwing now is Geno.
Throw out wide to Walker.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll try for the first with Walker.
Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive.
They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20.
A great play by Derek Hall to drop him behind the line of scrimmage.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Carr now to throw.
Out route to Hill, complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Big Leonard Williams, the one who came in and got him.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now Carr.
Over the middle and complete to Shaheed.
That'll give them 8 that time. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. On play action, it's Carr.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Carr. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw, it's Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carr.
The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And his kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Back out now comes Kenneth Walker and the Seattle offense.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at the 33-yard line.
He completes this to Walker.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turned it into a successful play.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3.
Now Smith. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 23. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
Play action. It's Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle.
Noah Fant
From 8 yards out.
And the Seahawks are able to stretch out their lead.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you've got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's 21-3. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The New Orleans offense set to take over.
And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Carr. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Carr.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half, and now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, no return. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
This is Fant on the short completion. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Off of play action, here's Smith. Walker with a grab, left side. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. And Walker once more.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Geno now to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 40. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Chase Young.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. And Walker has it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And that pick six, Charles, that moves it up now to a 3-touchdown advantage. A great individual defensive effort there to continue what has been a very lopsided first half.
And I better buckle in my seatbelt, right? Because you know, as a former DB, when I see a pick six, I'm up and jumping up and down watching it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be neutral, but those kind of plays, they excite me every time. They are in absolute control in this one. Nice play there.
Now Myers for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now Carr to try again after the pick six. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 52 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver or that burner on the outside. Not here.
That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
Now a play fake. Carr.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick six. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Touchdown! Marquez Valdez-Scantling from 21 yards away.
And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Blake Groupie now for the extra point.
And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10
at their own 27.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
77 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Again, it's Walker.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd and a couple. Hand off here to Walker.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They'll try the air now with Smith.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Again, Smith.
He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
10 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answers for that right there.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith and Jigba touchdown catch.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On play action, now Carr. Little short pass here to Hill, and he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now Carr.
Olave holds it in.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
This 2nd and 4.
Now Carr.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
The Seahawks offense and Kenneth Walker set to take over once more. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now Smith.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Smith now to throw.
Repeat of the last play, finding Walker.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Second down and 4.
Smith throwing again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf.
49 yards.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Saints offense and Derek Carr ready for this next possession. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he'll get this one underneath to Kamara.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one.
Second down and a yard.
Now Carr. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Carr now to throw.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Carr again.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here's Carr. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So Carr departs, and on is Blake Grupe for the Saints field goal.
He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Here's 2nd and 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
128 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
He completes this to Walker.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
He's going to get this complete here to Lockett.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Now a run with Walker, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Now Geno. And he will find his man on the outside. 2 yards on the pickup there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Out of the gun, Smith. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Geno Smith taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Saints offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Carr. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
There's a short one caught by Johnson.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Kamara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
And he is going to have a Saints first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter, I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Now they'll throw with Carr. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Here's Carr to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
3rd and 2. To throw his Carr. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Saints first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Carr.
Over the middle and complete to Shaheed.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Williams is in. Touchdown, New Orleans.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
Here's Groupie for the PAT.
So they get 1 score back, but still a long ways to go here in this 3rd quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Jamal Williams who ended things with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Back to Walker on first down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing now is Geno.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Geno now to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better, had time to survey the field, and still couldn't find an open receiver.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Smith. Dancing to his left. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Escapes the defender.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Carr.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. It's Hill, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8.
To throw, it's Carr.
Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 9.
Carr now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hill. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Shotgun now for Carr.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. A give to Kamara running right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Carr, got to have this one. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf, incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
Hands it to Walker to begin the series.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Carr.
Gets this complete to Shaheed.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down. Carr going to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 41-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Here's Carr to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Again, it's Carr.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball.
Touchdown, Saints. From 8 yards out.
And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here, but it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the fourth quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them, not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3rd down and 6. And going right back to Walker. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
From the gun, it's Walker.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd down, here's Walker.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Ken Walker.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Seahawks continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the 1st, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Now Myers for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 5. To throw his Carr. Locates Kamara on the out route. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down. Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now Carr again. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Back to throw again. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 45 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now Carr maybe with a free play. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Groupie for the extra point.
And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. Walker with another carry. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line.
This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
That's Olave bringing in another one. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Carr. That's out to Hill, right side complete. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Again, they'll throw with Carr.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's going to do it. With that last throw, he surpasses Norm Van Brocklin's mark of 554 passing yards in one game, set more than 70 years ago, way back in 1951. He's had help from his offensive line and his receivers, but this has been an incredible individual performance.
Now Carr.
That'll be taken in by Shaheed.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Now 2nd and 5.
To throw, it's Carr.
Out route to Hill, complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 13-yard line. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Carr to throw again. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill.
And the Saints are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from the Bayou.